Welcome back. Settle in. Let your shoulders drop. Tonight, we drift into the soft hush of a medieval castle. Not the loud one from stories, the quiet one. The one that exists between candle flames. Imagine stone walls, thick and cool. Imagine a wooden door, heavy with iron. Outside, the wind moves slowly through the fields. Inside, the world has already begun to slow. Breathe in gently, breathe out. Let the centuries melt away. There is no hurry tonight, only soft footsteps on old stone, only the slow turning of a quiet age. Let yourself walk in. The castle wakes before the sun, but softly, a rooster calls from somewhere beyond the walls. A scullion stirs the embers in the great kitchen. Smoke rises into the dim air. The day has not begun in a rush. It has begun in a whisper. Imagine the cool stone under bare feet. Imagine the smell of yesterday's woodsmoke clinging to the rafters. Outside, dew sits on the grass. The drawbridge creaks. The gatekeeper yawns. Nothing is urgent yet. Let your breathing match the slowness of this morning. In and out. The castle is in no hurry. Neither are you. Most people inside the castle are not knights, not lords, not ladies. They are servants, cooks, laundresses, stable hands, pages, carpenters, candle makers. The castle is a small village pressed inside walls. Each person has a quiet role to perform. Each role hums beneath the larger life of the keep. Imagine them moving in soft, practiced patterns, sweeping, carrying, folding, mending. They have done these tasks since childhood. Their hands know the work without thinking. Breathe slowly. There is something soothing about a place where everyone knows what to do. A place where the day rolls forward, gentle as a wheel. Let your shoulders drop a little more. The first meal of the day is small, coarse bread, a bit of cheese, watered ale, even for the children. Water alone was not always trusted, so ale was the everyday drink. Weak, soft, sour. Imagine the cool clay cup in your hand. Imagine the bread, dense and dark. There is no rush, no bright lights, only the long wooden table, only the murmur of low voices. Outside, the sky is turning pale gold. Inside, the meal is almost silent. People eat slowly here. They have nowhere else to be. Just the morning, just the bread. The great hall is the heart of the castle. A long room with a high ceiling. Tapestries drift gently along the walls. They keep the cold from seeping in. A fire burns at one end, slow and steady. Smoke rises into a hole in the roof, or, in newer castles, into a stone chimney. Imagine standing at the doorway. Imagine the soft amber glow of the fire. Long benches line the walls. Dogs sleep beneath the tables. Somewhere, a cat watches from a beam. The hall waits patiently for the next meal, the next story, the next quiet evening. Breathe in. Above the hall, the Lord and Lady have their own quiet chamber. A solar, it was called, from the word for sun. A room set high with windows. A place to sit, to read, to sew, to think. Imagine pale light pooling on a wooden floor. Imagine a soft cushion on a carved chair. Outside, the world is busy. Inside the solar, time slows. A lady might embroider quietly. A lord might dictate a letter. Children might play near the window. Let your mind drift here for a moment. The solar is hushed, warm. The light is honey-colored. There is nothing to do but be. Breathe slowly. Castles were not always cold. We imagine them as drafty, gray places. But the people who lived there worked hard to make them warm. Tapestries on the walls, rushes scattered across the floor, furs draped over benches, heavy curtains around the bed. Imagine pulling those curtains closed at night. Imagine the small, dark cocoon of a curtained bed. Just enough room to breathe, just enough room to sleep. The wind howls outside the stone. Inside the curtain, you are warm. You are safe. The candle flickers low. There is nothing left to do tonight. Only sleep. Only the soft, woolen dark. The kitchen, though, is never quiet. It is the busiest place in the castle. A wide, smoky room with great stone hearths. A spit turning slowly above the fire. A boy with red cheeks pulling the handle. Cauldrons hung from iron hooks. Imagine the smell of roasting meat. Imagine herbs hanging in dry bunches from the ceiling. Sage, rosemary, thyme. Imagine the warmth pressing against your face. Cooks shout orders, but softly tonight. Even shouting is part of the rhythm. The kitchen never sleeps before the rest of the castle. It feeds the world above it. Breathe in slowly. The bread is rising. Let your thoughts slow. Bread was at the center of every meal. Loaves shaped like rounds. Loaves shaped like ovals. Trenchers, which were thick slices of stale bread used as plates. Imagine a slab of dark bread on the table. The stew is poured directly onto it. The bread soaks up the juices. After the meal, the trencher is given to the dogs, or to the poor at the gate. Nothing is wasted here. Imagine the warm steam rising from the bread. Imagine the smell of barley and onions, the simple food of a long-ago kitchen. Soft, heavy, comforting, easy to drift toward. Spices were rare and treasured. Pepper, cinnamon, cloves, saffron. They came from faraway places, through long, slow trade routes. Camels, ships, mountain passes. Imagine a tiny wooden box on a shelf. Inside, a few peppercorns. They are worth more than silver. Only the Lord's table tastes them. Imagine the smell when the box is opened. Foreign, warm, almost magical. Far away lands hidden inside a small wooden box. breathe in slowly. Even something as small as a peppercorn carried with it the smell of a whole other world. The kitchen treats it like a quiet secret. Soft hands, careful measure, settle in deeper. Outside the kitchen, the courtyard hums with quiet life. Chickens peck near the well. A boy carries water in a wooden bucket. The blacksmith works at the far end. His hammer rings softly, a slow and steady rhythm. Clang, pause, clang, pause. Imagine the sound carrying across the stone. Imagine sparks flying upward, then fatting like little stars. The smith does not rush. Iron does not respond to hurry. Each strike is patient. Each strike a small piece of shaping. Let your breath match the rhythm. In on the strike, out on the pause. Your body knows this beat already. The well is the lifeblood of the castle. Deep, dark, quiet. A great stone ring around a hidden pool. Imagine looking down into it. The water far below catches a coin of light. Cool air rises from the depths. Servants gather here many times a day, filling buckets, drawing water, talking softly. The well never empties. The well never hurries. It waits, patient as stone, for the next bucket to drop. Breathe in slowly. There is something restful about a deep well, about knowing the water is always there, always cool, always still, always ready. Above the courtyard, the chapel stands quiet. Every castle had one, some grand with stained glass, some small with only a wooden cross. Imagine the chapel in early light, the candles already lit by the priest at dawn, the stone floor cool beneath your feet. Incense lingers from yesterday's prayers. The Lord and Lady visit here often. The servants too, when they have a moment. Imagine kneeling in the soft hush, hearing nothing but the wax dripping slowly down a candle. The chapel is the quietest room in the castle, the room where time barely moves. No need to count tonight. The day in a castle was shaped by bells. Bells from the chapel, bells from a nearby monastery, bells marking the hours of prayer. Matins, lauds, prime, terce, sext, none, vespers, compline, the names of the day, soft as whispers. Imagine hearing a distant bell drift over the walls at dusk, a long, slow note, followed by quiet, then another. People paused when they heard it, crossed themselves, returned to their work. The bells gave shape to time without rushing it. Breathe in on the bell. Breathe out on the silence after. Drift between them. Lord of the castle did not lounge all day, despite what stories suggest. He had records to keep, letters to write, disputes to settle among his tenants. Imagine him at a wooden desk by the window, a quill in hand, a small bottle of dark ink, the slow scratch of nib on parchment. Outside, fields stretch into soft green hills. He stops sometimes to look out, to rest his eyes. The work is endless but not hurried. There is always tomorrow. There is always next season. Breathe slowly with him. The pen scratches. The window glows. The afternoon. Let your shoulders drop again. The lady of the castle managed the household. Often she ran the entire estate when the lord was away. She kept the keys. She supervised the stores. She knew the price of grain. She knew which servants had children, which were ill, which needed gentle words. Imagine her walking slowly through the storerooms, counting sacks of flour, touching jars of honey, tasting the salt pork to check it has cured well. She moves without rushing. The castle is hers in these quiet hours. Her hands brush each thing softly, as if blessing it, as if giving thanks. In the storerooms, time is held in jars. Honey, salt, vinegar, cured meats hanging from beams, wheels of cheese in cool stone corners, apples laid carefully on straw. Imagine the scent of all of them mingling, smoky, sweet, earthy. The storerooms are how the castle survives the winter. Each summer's harvest slowly tucked away. Each autumn's slaughter salted and hung. Imagine running your hand along a barrel of dried beans. Cool wood, soft rustle. Breathe slowly. There is a deep peace in well-stocked shelves, a peace that ancient hands knew well. The peace of being prepared for the dark months ahead. The garden, too, was part of daily life. A small walled patch of soft earth, herbs grown for cooking, herbs grown for medicine, lavender, mint, fennel, sage. Imagine walking between the low rows in late afternoon, the bees moving slow and heavy in the warm air, a cat asleep on a stone path. The garden is the lady's quiet kingdom. She bends to pick rosemary. She crushes a leaf between her fingers. The scent rises sharp and clean. Breathe in slowly. The medieval garden was small, but it held a whole world. A pharmacy, a pantry, a place to think, a place to rest. Many medicines came from these gardens. Chamomile for sleep, willow bark for pain, mint for upset stomachs. The castle's healer was sometimes a monk, sometimes the lady herself, sometimes a wise woman from the village. Imagine her in a small stone room. Drying bundles of herbs hang from the ceiling. Mortar and pestle on a wooden table. Glass bottles, dark and strange. She does not hurry. Healing was a slow art. A tea, a salve, a quiet word, a soft hand on the brow. The medieval healer believed rest was medicine. So tonight, take her advice. Let yourself rest. Breathe in slowly. The afternoon stretches long in a castle. There are no clocks ticking on the wall. Time is measured by light, by shadow, by the smell of the kitchen. Imagine standing in a stone passageway, Sunlight slants through a narrow window. Dust motes drift inside the beam. They turn lazily like tiny stars. You could watch them for an hour. No one would mind. The castle has space for that kind of time. The kind that simply passes. The kind that does not need a name. Let your mind drift with the dust motes. Slow, aimless, soft, floating. Children in the castle had their own gentle days. The Lord's children learned to ride, learned to read sometimes, learned manners at the table. The servants' children helped where they could, carrying, sweeping, watching the geese. Imagine them all in the courtyard, some chasing a wooden ball, some sitting quietly with a wooden doll. Their laughter is soft, not sharp. The castle echoes their voices upward into the cool stone. Childhood here was simple, fewer toys, more open sky, more long, quiet afternoons. Settle in. Let the laughter become distant. Let it fade like a memory you almost remember. At the age of 7, a noble boy might leave home, sent to another castle, sent to be a page, to learn manners, to serve at table, to listen and watch. Imagine the small boy arriving in a strange courtyard, his pony tired, his cloak dusty. The new castle towers above him, but the people are kind. The lady takes his hand. She shows him where he will sleep. A small bed in a corner, a wool blanket, a window with a view of the stars. He is far from home, but he is not alone. The castle becomes his second family, his second life. Let your thoughts slow. The page would grow into a squire. The squire might one day become a knight. But years of quiet work would come first, polishing armor, caring for horses, carrying messages across the keep. Imagine him in the stables at dawn, brushing a great gentle horse. The horse breathes warm air against his cheek. The hay smells sweet. The light through the door is pale and soft. The work is slow, repetitive, calming. He learns patience here more than anything else. Patience is the first lesson of the castle. Patience is also a gift for the listener tonight. Breathe slowly. Wait gently. The stables held more than horses. Hounds slept in the corners. Cats hunted mice in the rafters. Falcons rested in a separate room, hooded and still. Imagine the falconer entering the mews. The birds shift slightly when they sense him. They know his footsteps. He speaks to them in a low voice. He carries small scraps of meat. The falcons are his quiet companions. He has known some of them for many years. Imagine the soft sound of feathers settling, the faint creak of a leather jess. The mews are dim, warm, and still. Breathe with the falcons, slow, hooded, patient. Hunting was a favorite pastime of the noble class, but it was not the chaotic chase we picture. Often it was slow, patient, hours in the saddle through misty woods. Imagine riding gently through pale autumn trees, the leaves crunching softly under hooves, the forest hushed and golden. The hounds trot quietly ahead. They do not bark unless needed. The Lord rides without urgency. The hunt is as much about being in the forest as catching anything, about fresh air, about space, about the long, slow rhythm of the horse beneath you. Let yourself rock gently with that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out. The forest beyond the castle held its own quiet life. Charcoal burners worked in distant clearings, slow plumes of smoke rising from their mounds. Foresters watched the trees. Swineherds led pigs to feed on acorns. Imagine the soft snuffling of pigs in the leaves. Imagine the tall trees, ancient and patient. The forest belonged to the Lord, but it lived by its own rules. Owls in the twilight, deer at dawn, mushrooms in damp hollows. Breathe slowly. The medieval forest was vast, dim, and full of soft, watchful things. A place where time moved like moss, slow, soft, green. Back in the castle, the laundry was its own quiet world. A great stone room with deep wooden tubs, steam rising in soft clouds, women working in pairs, pounding linens with wooden beaters, rinsing in clean, cold water. Imagine the smell of soap, made from animal fat and ash, sharp but clean. Imagine the wet linen heavy in the hands. The women sing as they work, soft, old songs, songs without endings. The laundry takes hours. No one hurries. Steam rises. Songs drift. Sheets are hung in long white rows. Breathe in slowly. Even washing was a kind of meditation. In the upper chambers, a different kind of work. The lady and her maids at their needles, embroidering linens, mending tunics, stitching slow patterns onto silk. Imagine the soft light of an oil lamp. Imagine the gleam of golden thread. The room is warm, quiet. 3 or 4 women sit in a circle. Their hands move in rhythm. They speak in low voices about the weather, about a wedding, about a child who is sick. The needle dips and rises, dips and rises. Breathe with the needle. In on the dip, out on the rise. Settle in, let your hands rest. Imagine the tapestries on the castle walls. They were not just decoration. They told stories. They kept rooms warm. They could be rolled up and carried when the Lord traveled. Castles were not always lived in year-round. Lords moved between estates. The tapestries traveled too. Imagine them packed onto carts. Imagine them rehung in the next great hall. The same scenes, the same colors, in a different stone room. The tapestries became home, no matter where home was. Breathe slowly. There is comfort in carrying small pieces of home with you, in recreating warmth wherever you go. Let your mind drift. Many castles had musicians, a lute player, a harpist, a singer with old ballads. Sometimes traveling musicians arrived from far away. They were welcomed for the news they carried, for the songs no one had heard. Imagine the great hall in the evening, the fire low, the benches half full. A man bows over a lute, plucking soft, slow notes. A woman sings in a language half remembered. The notes drift up into the rafters. The hounds twitch in their sleep. Breathe with the music. Let the slow notes pull you toward rest, toward the soft edge of sleep. Stories were currency in the castle. With no books for most people, stories were how knowledge traveled. A traveling minstrel might know songs from many kingdoms. A pilgrim might tell of cities far away. An old soldier might tell of mountains he once crossed. Imagine the listeners gathered close, their faces lit by the fire, their breaths held at the exciting parts. The story unfolds slowly. The teller knows when to pause, when to whisper, when to let the silence carry the meaning. Breathe in slowly. Stories were the radio of the medieval world. Soft, spoken, shared, then carried away. Settle in. Some castles had a small library, a few precious books kept under lock. Each book was made by hand, written by a monk in a distant monastery. Pages of vellum, letters painted in gold. Imagine opening one. The vellum is soft, the letters glow. The smell is faint and old. Each book might have taken a year to make, sometimes much longer. To own a book was to own a small piece of someone's whole life. Breathe slowly. Imagine running a finger along a painted letter. The colors made from minerals, from plants, from insects. A whole world inside a single page. Outside the keep, the village pressed close to the castle walls. Small thatched houses, smoke curling from holes in roofs, fields stretching away in green and gold strips. The village and the castle were one community. The villagers worked the Lord's fields. The Lord protected them when danger came. Imagine the village in the late afternoon. A woman calls her children home. A man drives geese along a muddy lane. A dog stretches in a patch of sun. Breathe in slowly. The village rhythm and the castle rhythm wove together. Two slow songs becoming one. Soft, steady, old as the hills around them. Market days brought a different kind of life to the castle gates. Stalls set up in the outer bailey. Vegetables, eggs, cloth, pots, pilgrims with small relics, peddlers with ribbons. Imagine the sounds: soft hagging, geese honking, a child crying briefly, a man laughing. The bustle is gentle, not frantic. People know each other. People take their time. A woman buys onions. A man trades a basket for a hen. The market closes by late afternoon. The stalls fold up. The travelers move on. By evening, the gates are quiet again. Breathe slowly. Even the busiest day in a castle ends in stillness. Let your shoulders drop. The walls of the castle were thicker than you can imagine, sometimes the width of a small room. Inside the walls, narrow staircases curled upward, tight spirals of stone. Imagine climbing one slowly, round and round, a hand on the cool central stone, the steps worn smooth by centuries of feet. Each turn brings a new arrow slit, a new sliver of the world outside, a field, a treetop, a river. The stairs are quiet. They smell of stone and old air. Breathe slowly as you climb. Each step a slow breath, each turn a slow thought. Up, round, up. At the top of the tower, a wide view opened up. Fields, rivers, distant villages, forest beyond. On clear days, you could see for many miles. Imagine standing at the battlements, the wind soft on your face, the sun setting beyond a wooded hill, a few birds drifting on a current of air. The watchman stands nearby. He nods at you. He has stood here 1,000 evenings. He knows the shape of every hill. He knows the silhouette of every village steeple. The view does not change quickly. The land is patient. So is the watchman. So are you. Night begins to gather. The watchmen take their posts. They walk the walls slowly, lanterns swinging gently in their hands. The light makes small pools that move along the stone. Imagine watching the lanterns from below. They look like fireflies on the high battlements. The watchmen call softly to each other. All is well. All is quiet. The drawbridge is up. The gates are barred. The castle is folded in for the night. Breathe slowly. There is something deeply restful about a place that knows how to close itself up, about thick walls, about iron locks, about being safely held inside the dark. Inside, the great hall settles for the evening meal. The main meal of the day was usually around midday. But supper was lighter, cozier. Bread, cheese, soup, maybe a little cold meat from earlier, a cup of wine for the Lord's table, ale for the others. Imagine the warm hall, the fire low and orange, people speaking in soft voices, a child half asleep on a bench, a dog snoring beneath the table, spoons clinking gently against wooden bowls. Breathe in slowly. Supper here is unhurried. There is nowhere else to be. There is nothing else to do. Just eat, just rest, just be. After supper, evening tasks begin. Slow ones, quiet ones. A woman spins thread by the fire. A man sharpens a knife. A boy mends a leather strap. Imagine the rhythm of these small tasks. The soft whir of the spindle, the gentle scrape of the whetstone, the soft pull of leather thread. Each person works alone but together. The fire crackles between them. No one speaks much. There is no need. Tasks like these were the medieval evening. No bright screens, no urgency, just hands at work. Slow, familiar, useful work. Let your breath join their rhythm. In on the spin, Out on the pole. No need to count tonight. Beds in the castle were not as we know them now. The lord and lady had a great bed with curtains, but many servants slept on simple pallets, straw mattresses, wool blankets, sometimes shared, sometimes laid right on the floor of the hall after the tables were cleared. Imagine the great hall transformed into a sleeping room, the fire banked low, bodies wrapped in wool, breathing softly, the dogs curled near the warm hearth, everyone in the same room, everyone safe together. Breathe in slowly. There was a quiet comfort in shared sleeping, in hearing other breaths in the dark. The Lord's bedchamber was warmer. A large curtained bed, a fire in the hearth, a small dog perhaps at the foot. Imagine the bed itself, heavy oak frame, thick wool mattress over straw, linen sheets, wool blankets, fur coverlets. The curtains pulled all around to hold in the warmth. Inside, it was almost like a small tent, a small private world. Imagine climbing in, pulling the curtains closed. The candle on the table outside burns low. The fire pops gently. The world becomes very small, very warm, very safe. Breathe slowly. Let the curtains close around you too. Sleep came in two pieces in the medieval world. First sleep, then a quiet hour or two of waking in the middle of the night. Then second sleep. People used the waking hour for soft tasks, praying, talking, mending, sometimes simply lying awake, thinking. Imagine waking gently in the deep middle of the night. The fire is low. The world is hushed. There is no panic, no clock ticking at you. You simply rest in the quiet dark. Then, slowly, you drift back to sleep. Breathe in, breathe out. Even waking in the night, in this old world, was peaceful, soft, expected. Let your thoughts slow. Castles were lit by candles, by oil lamps, by the fire. The light was always soft, always warm, always moving. Imagine a stone passage at night, a single candle on an iron bracket, its flames swaying with the air. Shadows shift slowly along the walls. There are no harsh edges in this kind of light. Everything looks gentle. Everything looks soft. Modern light is steady, sharp, electric. Medieval light was alive. It breathed. It flickered. It made the castle feel like a living thing in the dark. Breathe with the candle. In, out, soft yellow, soft gold. In the depths of winter, the castle drew tight. Doors stayed closed, shutters latched, fires burned through the day and night. The cold seeped through the stone, but the warmth held inside. Imagine snow falling on the towers, white flakes drifting past the arrow slits. Outside, the world is silent and white. Inside, the kitchen is fragrant with stew. The hall is warm. The dogs are happy by the fire. Imagine sitting at a window, watching the snow fall on the courtyard. The snow does not hurry. Neither do you. Breathe slowly. Winter in a castle was slow, quiet, patient, restful. Spring brought a different rhythm. The fields came alive. The villagers plowed and planted. The lord rode out to inspect his lands. The lady walked in her garden. Imagine the smell of damp earth, the sound of birds returning, soft green leaves opening on slow branches. The castle threw open its windows. Sunlight poured into rooms that had been closed all winter. Dust danced in the new light. Servants beat the carpets in the courtyard. Linens hung in the warming wind. Breathe in slowly. Spring in a medieval castle was a slow unfolding, like a flower, like a long-held breath finally released. Summer was the season of feasts, of long evenings, of weddings under blue skies. Imagine a feast in the great hall, tables covered with white cloth, trenchers piled with roasted fowl, bowls of berries, pitchers of cool ale, musicians in the corner playing softly. The doors are open. Soft summer air drifts in. People laugh quietly, not loudly. They are warm and well-fed and unhurried. The feast lasts many hours. No one is in a rush to end it. The sun does not even fully set until very late. Breathe slowly. Long summer evenings in any century are made for drifting. Settle in. Autumn was the time of harvest, of preparing, of slaughter. The pigs were brought in from the forest, salted away for winter. Apples were laid on straw in cool storerooms. Honey was collected from the hives. Imagine the courtyard in autumn, carts full of pumpkins and grain, servants carrying basket after basket, the kitchen full of steam, the air sharp with the smell of wood smoke and apples. The castle is preparing, storing, folding itself in for the dark months. Breathe slowly. There is something deeply soothing about preparation, about knowing the cold will come and being ready for it. On the longest nights of winter, festivals brought light into the dark. Yule logs burned for many days. Candles glowed in every window. The hall filled with greenery, holly, ivy, pine. Imagine the castle decorated for midwinter. Garlands along the rafters, the fire roaring in the hearth, people laughing softly, sharing warm, spiced drinks. Even the servants had time to rest. The Lord opened his hall to the village. Everyone ate together. Everyone forgot, for a few nights, the difference between rich and poor. Breathe in slowly. The medieval midwinter feast was about light pushing back against the longest dark. Christmas brought 12 nights of celebration, each one with its own quiet meaning. The boy bishop on one night, the lord of misrule on another. Servants and lords swapped roles for an evening. Imagine the laughter, soft, never loud. Imagine the small games, the hidden bean in the cake, the whoever found it became king for the night. The medieval winter festival was full of small, gentle absurdities, small reversals, small kindnesses. Breathe slowly. There is something tender about a world that paused every winter to laugh at itself in the firelight. Let yourself smile softly. Then let yourself rest. Let your mind drift. We are halfway through the night, halfway through this slow walk through stone halls. By now, your breath has slowed, your shoulders rest, your thoughts move like dust motes in afternoon light. There is no need to remember any of this, no need to hold onto a single fact. Just let the images drift past, like leaves on a slow river. The castle continues its quiet life with or without your attention. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. The next half is even softer than the first. Let your mind grow heavy. Let your body grow warm. Drift onward. Castles were not always silent at night. There was always someone awake. The watchman on the walls, a baker beginning the morning bread, a nursing mother in a quiet corner, a monk at his prayers in the chapel. Imagine the sleeping castle, most of it dark and still, but here and there, small candles burning, small souls quietly tending the night. The castle was never fully unconscious. It rested in shifts, like a great living thing. Breathe slowly. Let yourself be one of the sleeping ones, knowing that gentle hands are tending the candles, knowing that the night is being kept soft, warm, watched. The chapel candles were tended through the night. A monk would rise for the night offices. Soft prayers chanted in the dark. Imagine the small chapel, the monk in his rough robe, his breath visible in the cold air. The candles flicker. His voice rises in old Latin words. He is not lonely. He has done this every night for many years. The night offices were a kind of holding, a way of saying that even in deepest dark, someone is awake, someone is tending, someone is keeping watch over the world. Breathe slowly. Let the soft Latin notes drift over you, like a lullaby. Many castles were built on hills or beside rivers. The location was chosen for safety, but also for beauty. The medieval builders knew the land well. They placed stones where the eye would rest gently, where the views would unfold slowly. Imagine standing outside a castle at evening, the sun sinking behind the keep, the silhouette dark against the orange sky, the walls perfectly placed against the hill, the river curling silver below. Castles were not just fortresses. They were a kind of art, a conversation between stone and landscape. Breathe slowly. Beauty was woven into daily life here, even in the placement of walls. The moat, where there was one, was its own quiet world. Sometimes water, sometimes dry, full of grass and stinging plants, often both at different times. Imagine a moat in summer, reeds growing along the edges, frogs calling at dusk, a heron standing motionless in the shallows. The moat protected the castle, but it also became a small ecosystem, a pond inside the Lord's land. Fish lived there, eels too. Imagine a servant pulling up a wicker trap, 2 fat eels twisting inside. Tonight's stew. Breathe slowly. The medieval world made use of every quiet corner. Even the moat had its harvest. Breathe in slowly. The drawbridge was raised each night, a great wooden plank turning slowly upward, heavy chains creaking, the dull clunk of wood meeting stone. Imagine standing in the courtyard at dusk, watching the bridge rise, the world outside slowly cut off, the world inside slowly enclosed. Some lords loved this moment, the closing of the day, the locking of the family inside. Imagine the satisfying weight of the iron bars sliding into place, the deep sense of being held, of being safe, of being home. Breathe slowly. Let your own day close like a drawbridge, soft, slow, final. In some castles, the lord and lady had pets that we might recognize today. Small lap dogs for the lady, hounds for the lord, cats in every kitchen, sometimes more exotic creatures, a monkey in a cage, a peacock in the garden, a trained falcon for hunting. Imagine the lady walking with a small dog at her heels. The dog has its own little cushion in the solar. It eats scraps from her hand. It sleeps on the foot of her bed. Even in the hardest centuries, people loved their animals. Breathe slowly. There is something tender about a small dog asleep on a lady's lap. Cats earned their keep by hunting. They were valued, sometimes treasured, but mostly left to themselves. Imagine a castle cat walking the rafters at night, padding through the kitchen at dawn, sleeping in a sunbeam in the afternoon. The cat moves through every part of the castle. The cat sees everyone. The cat stays mostly silent. Imagine following the cat with your eyes, watching it slip around a corner, watching it stretch in a patch of soft light, watching it curl up beside the embers of the fire. Breathe slowly. Become the cat, slow, quiet, watching, then resting, then asleep. Settle in. Many castles had a dovecote, a small round tower full of nesting holes. Doves and pigeons lived there. They provided eggs, meat, soft droppings used as fertilizer. Imagine the dovecote at evening. Dozens of birds returning home in slow circles, their wings making soft whispers in the air. They settle into the nesting holes. They coo gently to each other. The dovecote is warm and quiet. It smells of straw and feathers. The birds are safe. Imagine being one of them, tucked into a small round nest. The world outside fatting, the days flying done. Breathe in slowly. Settle into your nest. Bees were kept in straw hives. Skeps, they were called, round, woven domes set on wooden shelves. The honey from those hives was the only sweetener most people had. Imagine the hives in late summer, bees moving in slow gold streams, the air around them warm and humming, the honey gathered carefully, wax saved for candles, nothing wasted. Imagine standing near the hives at twilight, the bees settling, the hum slowing, the world growing still. Breathe slowly. The medieval beekeeper knew that bees responded to calm, to quiet movements, to patient hands. So slow your hands now, slow your breath. The bees are settling for the night. So are you. Let your shoulders drop. The medieval calendar was full of holidays, holy days, saints' days, local feasts. There were many more breaks from work than we often imagine. Some scholars believe medieval peasants had as many or more days off than modern workers. Imagine a small village green on a saint's day, people in their best clothes, a small procession, music, dancing in slow circles. The work paused, the fields rested too. The medieval year had many small pauses, many small celebrations, many soft breaks. Breathe slowly. Tonight is one of those pauses, a long, slow rest, earned, deserved, welcomed. On feast days, the great hall opened wide. Long tables set up, villagers welcomed in, roast meats, pies, fresh bread, beer flowing freely. Imagine the warm hall full of soft murmurs, children running between benches, old men telling old stories, young women laughing softly behind their hands, the Lord at the high table smiling at his people, the lady carrying small dishes herself sometimes as a sign of humility. The feast was a slow river, hours of small kindnesses, of full bellies, of full hearts. Breathe in slowly. There is something deeply restful about a community gathered in warmth, about being fed and held together. In every castle, somewhere, there was a steward, the man who kept the accounts, who knew where every penny went, who knew which barrel of wine had been opened, which sack of flour was running low. Imagine him in a small office, wooden shelves of ledgers, a quill, an inkwell, a small candle. He works late into the night. He counts in soft, low murmurs. The numbers do not stress him. He has counted them for many years. The steward is the quiet keeper of the castle's bones. Breathe slowly. There is something soothing about steady, careful counting, about someone making sure all is well while you rest. Sometimes guests arrived at the castle. A traveling lord, a bishop, a pilgrim, a messenger. Hospitality was a sacred duty in the medieval world. No one was turned away. Imagine a tired traveler at the gate, mud on his cloak, snow in his beard. The gatekeeper opens the door. The lady comes to greet him. Bread is brought, hot wine, a warm seat by the fire. The traveler may stay a night or many. He brings news from distant lands. He brings his quiet thanks. Breathe slowly. The medieval castle was a place that opened to weary travelers. Tonight, you are a traveler too. Welcome in. Let your thoughts slow. Pilgrims often passed through castles on their way to holy sites. They wore wide hats. They carried staves. They had small badges sewn to their cloaks, showing which shrines they had visited. Imagine a pilgrim by the fire. He has walked many miles. His feet are sore. His eyes are tired. But there is a quiet light in him. He has seen many places. He has slept in many strange beds. He tells small stories of distant cathedrals, of mountain passes, of seas he has crossed. Breathe slowly. The pilgrim's life was slow. Step by step, day by day, soft and steady, like sleep. Most castles had a wardrobe, not a piece of furniture, a whole room, the room where clothing was kept, folded linens, heavy cloaks, embroidered gowns, furs. Imagine the wardrobe in soft lamplight, rows of carved wooden chests, sweet sachets of lavender tucked between layers, the smell of wool, of linen, of cedar. The wardrobe was a place of slow, careful tending. Each garment was precious, each one made by hand, mended often, kept for many years. Imagine the soft sound of a chest lid being raised, the whisper of folded silk. Breathe slowly. There is calm in carefully kept things, in gentle handling, in quiet rooms. Bathing in the medieval castle was more common than later centuries believed. Hot water was carried to a wooden tub, often lined with a linen cloth, often scented with herbs. Imagine the bath chamber, steam rising in soft curls, the wooden tub by the fire, a maid laying out warm towels. The lady steps into the water. The water is warm. The herbs are sweet. The fire crackles softly. She might soak for an hour. The bath was unhurried, a small, quiet luxury. Breathe slowly. Imagine the warm water rising around your shoulders. Imagine the herbs releasing their gentle scent. Imagine the firelight on the wooden walls, soft, steaming, still. Settle in deeper. Castle clothing was layered for the cold. A linen shirt next to the skin, a wool tunic over that, a heavier wool gown for women, a cloak over the shoulders, sometimes a fur lining. Imagine dressing in the morning, each layer pulled gently over the head, each layer adding warmth and weight, belts and laces tied slowly. The whole dressing might take a quarter hour. Then the day could begin. Imagine the soft shifting of all those layers as you walk, the faint rustle of wool against linen. Breathe slowly. There is something soothing about being warmly bundled, about slow, intentional dressing. In the cellars beneath the castle, barrels lined the walls. Wine, ale, cider, vinegar, cool dark air settled around them. Imagine descending the stone steps with a single lantern, the temperature dropping with each step, the smell of damp earth and old oak, the barrels black and round in the dim light. The cellar master taps a barrel softly, listens to the sound. He knows by ear which barrels are ready, which need more time, which have turned. Breathe slowly. The cellar is one of the quietest places in the castle. Cool, dark, patient, like a cave where time slows down. Let your breath grow softer. Outside the castle, the Lord's lands stretched far. Forests, fields, streams, tiny hamlets. The whole landscape worked together to feed the castle. Imagine an evening view from the high tower. Smoke rising from many distant chimneys. Cattle being driven home along a winding road. A miller closing his mill for the night. The sun touching the tops of the hills. Each small light below was a family settling in. A small candle being lit. A small pot being stirred. Breathe slowly. Across the dark land, hundreds of small lives are finding rest. You are one of them tonight. In some castles, there was a clerk, a man who could read and write. He wrote letters for the Lord. He kept records of births and deaths. He copied small books sometimes. Imagine him in a small chamber, a wooden desk by a window, a row of inks in colored bottles, quills lined neatly along a shelf. He works slowly, each letter formed with care, each word a small sculpture. The work could take hours for a single page. He does not mind. The act of writing was itself a kind of prayer. Breathe slowly. Imagine the soft scratch of his quill, like the faintest whisper, like sleep approaching. News traveled slowly in the medieval world. A letter might take many weeks to arrive. A message from a distant kingdom might take months. Imagine receiving a letter from a brother far away. The wax seal pressed with his ring, the vellum slightly curled. You break the seal with care. You read by candlelight. The words are months old, but still they are warm. Still they are him. The slowness of news taught patience, taught that a friend's love did not weaken just because their letter took long to arrive. Breathe slowly. Tonight, your thoughts can travel as slowly as a medieval letter. There is no rush. The fool in some castles was a real role, not a clown, a wise companion in motley clothes, someone who could speak truths the Lord could not, who could make the lady laugh, who could see when the castle was tired and needed lightness. Imagine the fool in the firelight, his soft, jingling bells, his slow, careful jokes, his quiet songs late at night. The fool was sometimes the kindest person in the castle, the one who saw everyone clearly. Breathe slowly. The fool is one of those gentle figures we forget, soft as a candle, wise as silence, letting the household laugh, then rest. Let your shoulders drop again. Castle floors were often covered in rushes. Soft layers of dried reeds spread across the stone. sometimes scattered with herbs, lavender, meadowsweet, mint. Imagine walking on rushes, the faint crunch under your shoes, the soft release of herbs as you step, the whole hall scented with summer. The rushes were swept and replaced often. They kept the floor warm in winter. They kept the air sweet. Breathe slowly. Imagine lying down on a fresh layer of rushes, the faint cool of stone beneath, the faint scent of meadowsweet, a small bed of grass and flowers indoors, soft, sweet, old. Music drifted through the castle in many forms, not just performances, songs while working, lullabies in the nursery, whistled tunes from a stable boy, a young girl humming as she churned butter. Imagine the dairy in the morning, the girl's soft humming, the slow, steady thump of the churn, the smell of fresh cream. Music was woven into every hour, soft, simple, unaccompanied, just voices, just breath, just a small song carrying someone through their work. Breathe slowly. Let an imagined tune drift through your mind. Slow, wordless, like a hum from far away. Carry you toward sleep. In the herb garden, certain plants were grown for sleep. Chamomile, valerian, lavender, lemon balm. Imagine the herb gatherer in the late afternoon, a small wicker basket on her arm. She moves slowly between the rows, picking only what is needed, brushing her hand against the lavender to release its scent. The bees move past her without minding. They share the garden gently. She gathers chamomile flowers, soft and white. They will become a tea before bed. Breathe slowly. Imagine the warm cup in your hand. Imagine the soft yellow color, the gentle scent, the slow first sip. Breathe out. Sleep is close. Settle in. The night watch on the walls would sometimes whisper to each other across the towers. Soft signals, a short call, a short reply, all is well. Imagine the wind on the high battlements, the stars above very bright, the torches in their iron brackets sputtering softly. The watchman walks slowly. He does not look for trouble. He just looks. He just stands. He has come to love the night. The way the moon moves over the tower. The way the owl crosses the courtyard. He is part of the slow turning of the dark. Breathe slowly. Become the watchman. Quiet, watching, held in the dark. Owls were beloved and feared in equal measure. Some thought they were wise. Some thought they were omens. Either way, they were everywhere in the castle's nights. Imagine an owl drifting silently across the courtyard, white against the dark, its wings making no sound at all. It lands on a beam. It blinks slowly. It looks down on the sleeping castle without judgment. The owl simply watches. The owl simply hunts mice in the granary. The owl simply lives its quiet life beside ours. Breathe slowly. Let your eyes grow heavy like the owl's. Slow, watching less, resting more, folding into the night. In the nursery, infants slept in wooden cradles, carved smooth, sometimes painted, hung with small wooden charms. Imagine a nurse rocking a cradle by candlelight, her foot pressed to the curved bottom. The cradle moves in a slow, steady arc. She hums an old song. The baby's eyes flutter and close. The nurse herself begins to drift. Her humming softens. Her foot still rocks. The cradle still sways. The candle burns down softly. Breathe slowly with the rocking cradle. Forward, back, forward, back. There is no older lullaby than this. Let it carry you too. Let your mind drift. Some castles had small private gardens hidden inside walls. Pleasure gardens, they were called, with benches, with small fountains, with trellises of climbing roses. Imagine slipping into one at twilight, the roses heavy with scent, a small fountain bubbling somewhere quietly, a stone bench warm from the day's sun. The world outside the garden walls feels far away. Even the rest of the castle seems distant. The pleasure garden was a private secret, a small piece of paradise. Breathe slowly. Imagine sitting on the warm stone bench, the roses around you, the fountain whispering. Time here almost stopping. In some castles, lovers met in such gardens, quietly, briefly, with small courtesies and slow words. Romance in the medieval world was not always loud. It often moved through small glances, through carefully chosen ribbons, through letters slipped under doors. Imagine a young noblewoman walking in the garden at dusk, a young knight waiting by the rose trellis. They speak in low voices. They do not touch. They simply share the garden, the dusk, the scent of the roses. The world's slow tenderness held in those few minutes. Breathe slowly. Such soft moments existed in every century, even ones we imagine harsh. Tenderness has always been here. As the seasons turned, weddings were held in the castle chapel. Small, quiet, often less elaborate than we imagine. The bride wore her best dress, whatever color it happened to be. Blue was lucky. Red was bold. White was rare. Imagine the chapel full of soft candles, the priest at the altar, the families gathered close, vows spoken in low, steady voices. After a feast in the great hall, music, dancing, slow circles, the newlywed couple at the center, smiling shyly. Breathe slowly. Even the great moments of medieval life unfolded gently, without rush, without fanfare, with warmth, with kindness. Births in the castle were tended by midwives, wise women who knew herbs and old songs. The birthing chamber was warmed by a fire, filled with women only. Men were not allowed inside. Imagine the soft hum of voices, the herbs steeping in hot water, the bed prepared with fresh linens, the midwife's calm hands. The work was slow, sometimes long. The women supported each other through hours of patient labor. After the baby came, the room filled with soft tears of joy. Breathe slowly. Births in the medieval castle were communal, held by many gentle hands. A circle of women keeping watch through the long hours. Funerals, too, were quiet affairs. The body was washed and dressed, laid out in a simple linen cloth. Candles burned at head and foot. Family kept watch through the night. Imagine the soft chapel, the candles steady, the family seated on benches. They speak low. They tell stories of the dead, small, kind stories. The funeral mass would be in the morning, the burial in the small graveyard beside the chapel, then a meal in the hall, then quiet, then more quiet. Breathe slowly. Death in the medieval castle was held with gentleness, with ritual, with time, with many warm hands and many soft candles. No need to count tonight. Castles rose and fell across many centuries. Some were lived in for hundreds of years. Some were abandoned and grew quiet, ruined. Imagine an old castle in moonlight, vines climbing the walls, owls in the towers, foxes in the courtyard, the stones slowly returning to the land. Even ruined, the castles held their dignity. The way a sleeping giant holds its peace. They were not sad. They were resting. They had served their long centuries. Now they were tended by the moon. Breathe slowly. Imagine standing among the ruins, the night soft around you, the walls quietly breathing, old, patient, resting still. In the surviving castles, you can still walk where they walked, climb the same stone stairs, touch the same warm stones at midday, stand at the same window where a lady once embroidered. Imagine yourself there, quiet visitor, hand on cool stone, the wind through the same arrow slits, the sun in the same patches on the floor. The centuries fall away. Time becomes a soft layer, easily lifted. You are not far from them. They are not far from you. Breathe slowly. There is comfort in continuity, in knowing that quiet hands tended these stones for so long, and tend them still. Settle in deeper. The nighttime castle was a place of small sounds, the fire settling, a door closing somewhere far away, a horse shifting in the stables, a mouse in the rafters. Imagine lying in bed in such a castle, the curtains drawn, the candle burned out, the fire dim, the sounds of the night around you. Each small sound is gentle. Each says, the castle is alive. The castle is keeping watch. The castle is breathing softly with you. Breathe slowly. You are held by stone and timber, by sleeping souls, by small, kindly sounds. Tonight, you are held by all of it. Most nights in the castle were uneventful. We tend to imagine medieval life as full of battles, but most days were just days. most nights were just nights. Imagine a quiet evening that is just like every other evening. Supper was simple. The fire burned low. The Lord read a little. The lady stitched a little. The dogs slept. The children went to bed early. Nothing happened. Nothing needed to happen. The whole castle simply turned like a great wooden wheel through another quiet day. Breathe slowly. Most of life, in any century, is made of these uneventful evenings. They are the ones that matter most. Let your thoughts grow soft. The castle's stones held heat after the sun set. You could lean against a south-facing wall at evening and feel summer in the stone. The walls remembered the day. They gave that warmth back slowly through the night. Imagine your hand pressed flat against a warm stone wall, the grain of the rock under your fingers, the faint warmth seeping in, the wall holding the day for you, the wall remembering the sun on your behalf. Breathe slowly. The walls have held the sun for many centuries. They will hold it for many more. There is comfort in such patient warmth. Some castles had small windows of colored glass, bits of red, blue, gold. The light through them painted the floor in shifting colors. Imagine a stone floor at midday. Patches of soft red, patches of cool blue, patches of warm gold. They move slowly as the sun moves. They drift across the floor like quiet fish. A child sometimes lay on the floor and watched them. A cat sometimes batted at them gently. The colored light was a small daily wonder, a reminder that beauty was woven through the simplest hours. Breathe slowly. Let your imagination drift through pools of slow colored light. In the chapel, the colored glass told stories. Saints, angels, old miracles. The figures looked down quietly through the centuries. Imagine sitting in a pew at dusk, the fading light catching the edges of the windows, the figures slowly losing their colors, then becoming dark silhouettes, then disappearing into night glass. The chapel grows still around you. The candles take over from the glass. The figures wait, patient, for tomorrow's dawn. Breathe slowly. Imagine yourself in that quiet chapel at the moment when day becomes night. Light becomes dark. Color becomes shadow. A slow handing over. A soft transition. A gentle ending of the day. Let your shoulders drop one more time. We have walked through many corners of the castle now. Hall, kitchen, solar, garden, chapel, mews, stable, cellar, tower. Each one held a small piece of medieval daily life. Each one held quiet. Each one held warmth. Imagine all those rooms folding gently into one another, like the chambers of a great stone heart. The castle as a whole, breathing slowly through the night, breathing in dusk, breathing out dawn, breathing for many long years. Breathe with it. In, out. You are inside the castle's slow breath. You are part of its long quiet, soft, warm, held. The medieval world was not as far away as we sometimes think. Many of our small comforts come from it. The pillow beneath your head, the wool of your blanket, the honey in your tea, the candle on your shelf. Imagine all those small inheritances, made by hands you will never know, passed forward through countless quiet evenings. Tonight, when you rest with them. With the bakers who first kneaded soft bread. With the spinners who first made warm cloth. With the candle makers who pressed each wick by hand. Breathe slowly. You are connected to a long, patient line of softness. It holds you tonight. In a castle, the hours before dawn were the deepest hours. The fires had burned down to embers. The candles were nearly out. The watchmen had grown quiet. The sleeping bodies barely moved. Imagine the great hall at 3 a.m, almost dark, almost silent. A single ember glowing red in the hearth. The shape of a sleeping dog. The faint outline of benches against the wall. Even the mice are still. Even the wind has slowed. Breathe slowly. This was the hour the castle slept most fully. The hour when even the watchmen leaned softly against their posts. Let yourself fall into that hour now. Far away, beyond the castle walls, the country was sleeping too. Villages dim, forests dark, rivers quiet. Imagine all of it from above. The whole landscape resting under the stars. A few small lights from late candles. A few small fires from charcoal burners. Otherwise dark. The medieval night was darker than any night you have known. No streetlights, no glowing screens, no distant city glow, just stars, many, many stars, brighter than you can imagine. Breathe slowly. Let yourself rest beneath that ancient sky. The same stars that watched over the sleeping castle. The same stars watching over you tonight. Medieval sky was full of constellations they knew well. The plough, the crown, the huntsman, the 7 sisters. People watched them carefully, used them to mark seasons, used them to navigate, used them to dream. Imagine the watchman lifting his eyes from the courtyard, tracing the slow turn of the great sky wheel, whispering the names he learned as a boy. The stars were old friends to him. They moved slowly, predictably, comfortingly. Breathe slowly. The stars above you tonight are nearly the same stars they saw. 1,000 years between you, but the same patient light, the same quiet shapes, the same long, slow turning. Settle in. The first hint of dawn is far off, but in the kitchen, the baker has begun to stir. He pulls himself up from his pallet. He blows softly on the embers. He stretches. He reaches for the dough that has been rising all night. Imagine the warm round of dough, soft and alive in his hands. He shapes it gently. He sets it in the oven. The fire crackles. The smell of bread will soon fill the castle. Breathe slowly. castle is beginning to wake, slowly, gently, as you, perhaps, are beginning to fall toward your deepest sleep. The two motions cross softly in the dim light. Let your mind drift. The baker is not lonely in his early work. Far away in another castle, another baker is doing the same thing. In a monastery, a monk is rising for matins. In a village, a shepherd is checking on his flock. The medieval night was held by many small, quiet souls, each one keeping the world turning, each one tending small flames. Tonight, you are held by them too. By the bakers, the watchmen, the monks, the midwives, the shepherds. Their slow, steady kindness reaches across the centuries. Breathe slowly. You are not alone in the night. You never were. The night deepens around you. The castle in your mind has become softer, the walls almost transparent, the fire only a memory of warmth, the figures only outlines. Even the words in this story are growing soft. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to learn, nothing left to do. Only rest. Only the slow turning of the dark. Only the sound of your own quiet breath. The castle has done its work. It has carried you here, to this soft place, to this gentle edge of sleep. Let your thoughts grow heavy. Let your body grow warm. Drift. There is no need to remember any of this in the morning. The castle will still be there, in stone, in story, in the slow, patient memory of the world. You can return any night you wish. The hall will be warm, the garden will be green, the candles will be lit. The watchman will nod softly as you pass. Breathe slowly. Let the castle close its great wooden doors gently behind you. Let the drawbridge rise. Let the lanterns dim. Let the world fold itself in. Around you, above you, below you. You are safe. You are warm. You are sinking slowly into the deep, soft dark. Let your breathing slow. The night deepens. The castle sleeps. The stars wheel quietly overhead. Somewhere, a single candle still burns, but it is not for you to tend tonight. It is being tended for you by patient hands, by gentle souls, by the quiet keepers of the long medieval night. Breathe in softly. Breathe out softly. Let your thoughts slow. Let your body grow heavy. Let the centuries hold you like a warm wool blanket. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to know. Only sleep. Only the soft folding of the dark around you. Drift, drift. Good night.